Alright, looking at the daily time frame here. On ES we have a new high. In Q we have a new I. But we have SMT with YM. It did not make a new high. So we got high time frame SMT. If we go in and look at the lower time frames, looking at Asia and London here, we can see that ES did not sweep London lows, or sorry, ES London low did not sweep Asia low. But looking at NQ, London took out Asia and YM took out Asia. So we have a SMT there too as well. We are at all-time highs on basically all three. Being that ES and NQ are both sitting at new all-time highs here, YM made it's not. So we could see potentials for a reversal here. So another thing we need to keep in mind is this week we have FMOC and Papa Pow is projected, or it is assumed, however you want to say it, to cut some rates down. And if we do that, we could see some major explosion to the upside. So until that happens on Wednesday, with it being kind of a no red folder news Monday, we're probably going to chop around. Tuesday, we may see a little movement after 8:30 core retail sales, but I have a feeling we're probably going to chop until about Wednesday. So it would be a good thing to just get in, get your little base hit, and get out. That's going to be my goal for today. So I am currently trading 28 accounts using TradeSyncer. You can see it down here. I have 20 300K Apex evaluations that are sitting around 303.4 basically. So I'm 1/5 of the way there on passing. I've also got 5 Lucid direct accounts, 150Ks. 2 My Funded Futures 50K cores, which are in funded sim stage, and 1 Tradeify 150K straight to funded account. So market just opened here. Let's see what it gives us. Probably going to wait a few minutes, at least 10 to 15 minutes to see. Let the starting volatility of the open get through, and then see if we can snipe us an entry here. Going to be charting on TradingView over here, but we'll be trading through Quantower on Apex 1488. And when I execute here, it'll copy through TradeSyncer. So ES making a new high here, NQ making a new high, YM has not made a new high. Very close there. NQ breaking over 24.2 here. Nice push to the upside. ES also had a nice push. YM is selling off, breaking VWAP here. That 24.2 area could possibly be some psychological resistance there. So we had a push up. Now we're pushing back down with that resistance turned into support. Or will we see a reversal back down on YM? Like I said, we're moving down. Did not make a new high, but NQ and ES we did make a new high. Still going to give it a few more minutes before we attempt to place any trades or look for anything to trade. A lot of indecision and moving around here in the first 10 to 15 minutes off of open. Got 2 viewers on the stream. How y'all doing? Hit that subscribe, drop a message in the chat. We get at least a couple viewers. We will do a giveaway for some Apex accounts. Not expecting many, so at this point it would be a participation award basically. $198 or 24.2 here seems to be putting up a little bit of a fight. We broke over. Now it is kind of switched into support. So it looks like 24.2 is holding here, making a new high on NQ. ES is not making a new high. YM is going the opposite direction. Markets are a little discombobulated here. Market been open about 8 minutes now, letting this initial volatility get out of the way. We do have high time frame SMT. So NQ made a new high here. ES made a new high. YM did not, so we could see a push to the downside. So that's what we're sitting here watching for. ES made a new high. NQ made a new high. YM has not. Market is still all out of balance here and discombobulated. So, market's been open about 12 minutes now. So we're seeing a little bit of a push down from ES here. Nice displacement in those last two candles. We have one fair value gap here, a 1 minute, which I would like to see inverse, as well as this one, which held up before. I mean, it did get closed under, but then we had a nice reversal. So it is balanced already. But if we get a close back under that again, a nice close, I may try a short. Candle close in 2 seconds. We did get a close there, but before I enter, NQ is nowhere near the sell-off point. I mean, this would basically be considered the same area, same movement around 9:30. So that's the 9:30 candle on ES that just got closed under, but NQ did not. Whereas YM just keeps selling off here. Now we inverse this and we inverse this. So if we got a retrace here and I risk the high of this candle, we'd be looking at about 15 ticks. With Asia low being the ultimate goal. But we do have a lot of equal lows here. So I'm going to try a short if we get a 50% retrace here, which we just did. So I'm going to enter short, risk 2 ticks above this candle, going for 603. So we're going to do, whoop. Forgot to import the new contract in a trade sinker. So let's try this again. So we're going to risk the high of this candle. And we are going to target these equal lows. I am not sure what's going on with Trade Sinker, because it says I am $2,850 in profit on my funded futures. Which does not make any sense whatsoever.
But logging in to Trade of 8, it says I'm only down $112, so I'm not sure what's going on with their dashboard. We closed above this fair value gap here, so I'm going to go ahead and flatten this. Because that's going to go and take my stop. So down about 120 on all those accounts. Maybe a little premature there on that entry. Yep, glad I closed early. There goes my stop if I wouldn't have closed early. Talk about YM having a rally there. Let me go ahead and make sure I've imported the other contracts. There we go. What is old RTY doing? Look at oil and gold here. Gold has just been on a tear lately. Almost at 3,700 here. We did break over 3,700. That's not really a train I want to get in front of. Kind of some stale movement on ES and NQ here. Got some equal highs here on YM. It's only about 35 ticks. Not really interested in that.
up here at all-time highs. Kind of a hard area to trade. In macro time right now, 9:50 to about 10:10. I'm not moving a whole lot here on NQ and ES, but betting against the trend again I don't think would be smart. Tried that trade on ES there and got stopped out. I actually closed early. So if we come over here, we had a little bit of a mishap where Trade Syncer, we didn't have the contracts imported correctly, so we had to flatten, add the contract into Trade Syncer, then re-enter, so it copied to all the accounts. So RTY here has been struggling with this 1 hour fair value gap. And we got to close in about 4 minutes. And if we get a close above, I may look for a trade on RTY. Let's see which contract. Okay, we'll check it over here on Quantower. RTYZ. Got about 2 minutes here. So if we got in around here and we risk below this order block here, it'd be about 55 ticks roughly. Risking 275. Going for previous day high, which would be about 100 ticks to make 500. I'd take that trade. So nice movement there on in queue now, looking at the hourly. But interested in this RTY trade here. Let me make sure I've got it added. To Trade Sinker. Got about 1 minute left here. $15 seconds. Nice big close above. Looking like. Three, two, one. We're gonna go long. What in the world is going on? That's a big rejection there. We've got to put our stop. And we're going for yesterday's high, which we'll set at 420. Hold on. We're going to go for that gap there. And to be honest, I'm looking at the old contract. 2436. I'm closing this out. Something's going on with Trade Sinker. Stuff is not copying over. Right here on this Lucid account, it didn't copy at all. And talk about as soon as I entered on that, a massive rejection. I mean, it literally swept there and then just 60 ticks back the other way. Those my funded futures accounts, they have a hard daily loss limit of 500, so they're pretty much toast. Apex and everything else has $1,000, but I'm not sure what the hell's going on because there was no rejected order from Lucid. And TradeSync is only showing that I've had 3 filled orders for the whole day. Alrighty then. It's my bad. I don't think TradingView had rolled their contract, and I was looking at the wrong contract on TradingView and trading the right one on Quantower. Good stuff. Glad I got an RTY trade. Really don't want to get in front of these trains again. How about Tesla, huh? Gapped up like $33 this morning after Elon bought 2.5 million shares. Tesla shares jumped 8% after bought 1 billion worth of shares and pocket change to him. I think it closed up $27 on Friday, and right now sitting up about 6.5% at 26. Gold just on an absolute tear. Silver kind of consolidating. Not really a pattern trader, but that's one hell of a bull flag. Looks like we might be getting a little push down here. Had some equal lows right in here. We get a close below this fair value gap. I might try a short here to these equal lows. But also really skeptical about getting in front of this train again. No, no close, no entry. Let's see if we get it on this one. Currently holding. Don't have much drawdown left in them two. My funded futures accounts as far as my daily loss limit goes. So we're gonna do 3 micros on those. So looking for a close below this 1 minute fair value gap, targeting these equal lows. If we get a close here, had a new low here on in Q. That 1 minute fair value gap is holding on ES, so that trade may be invalidated there. But if we get a failed swing above this high here, and we form an order block inside of this and then get a close below, I'd still be interested in a short. So YM just whipsawing back and forth, same with RTY. %50 retracement there on ES on that last leg. In Q, nowhere near 50% retrace. Looks like we tapped into 5 minute fair value gap on NQ. ES is holding. But we got 11 seconds here. And that 5 minute fair value gap held. Try a long right here.
Risking the low of this candle. Targeting the high. If we get filled. Looks like it's leaving the station without us. Would have been a nice trade there on ES if we would have entered on the retrace into this 1 minute fair value gap with a stop below these lows. Since we did retrace back below the 50% into discount, go to deliver into the premium. But I'm just going to cancel this on NQ. We may get filled if we put it back there. But it could also be a failed swing on an SMT. So if we come over here to the 1 minute, I tapped into that 1 minute there. But not really good risk to reward with this one. As you'd be, risking about 70 ticks. It'd be close to a 1-to-1. I am just playing ping pong, ping pong, ping pong, ping. RTY, same thing. I mean, that trade would have been valid if I would have risked the bottom of that whole candle there, but I wasn't willing to do that. I'm willing to risk underneath that order block, which it just blew through, so. Some volatility coming in there. The stop grabber 5,000. And we may have an SMT forming here. We see ES made a new high. NQ did not. YM did not.
Wiki Wickerson there on oil. So currently, looking at what's in front of us, we've got SMT here. We made a new high on ES, but NQ did not. Price tapped into this 1 minute fair value gap, respected it, and has not closed above. So with the SMT and possible delivery from this 1 minute, if we get a close below this 1 minute, maybe looking for a short. But depending on how you look at it, it's a hell of a bull flag. I would target this low. So it would be something along the lines of about a 1 to 3. Yes, made another new high. Got a close, so we're selling.
So SMT delivering from a respected 1 minute fair value gap and then a close below that 1 minute. Let's see if it holds. To have been liquidated on one my funded futures account for hitting the daily loss. I'm not sure what's going on with the P&L on Tradeovate. Looking like getting in front of the moving train again up at all-time highs is not a smart decision. So I'm gonna let this play out. We get stopped, we get stopped. So now stopped out on both my funded futures accounts. Go to order history here. Yep, hit my personal daily loss limit. Oh, good. So we had SMT with ES up here along the highs. ES made new highs. NQ did not. Price retraced and tapped into this 1 minute fair value gap, respected it, and then came back down and closed under this 1 minute. So we're risking 2 ticks above the high of the candle here, targeting a few points before this low, which is 24,439.50. We're going for 24,442. So about a 3 point difference there. So, but getting in front of something trading at all-time highs and a massive uptrend, even with, you know, your PD arrays, normally they just get, disrespected. So with our entry here, we're risking about 80 ticks to make about 160, so 1 to 2. So we were in at 481.25. Stop is 501.25. Take profit is 442. So almost a 1 to 2. I have a feeling here price just gonna barrel through that stop, getting in front of a moving train. Not a pattern trader, but and there goes the stop. It's edging the stop. And stopped out. I'm not liking this price action today at all. We hit our personal daily loss limit on these two my funded futures accounts, which only needed like 2 more days of plus 100 to request a payout. Now they've got about, I don't know, $500 or $600 roughly left in drawdown each before they're blown. And then I have a personal daily loss on all these other accounts, my Lucid accounts and my Apex accounts at 1,000. So even if I wanted to place another trade, I'd only have about $140 roughly, $150 roughly of drawdown before it would trigger my personal daily loss limit and knock me out. So I'm probably just going to call it here and live to trade another day. So whoever's tuning in, if you guys want to subscribe when we get some more viewers in, I'm going to be doing some account giveaways from Apex, Tradeify, TickTick, all of them. Got plenty of accounts to give away. Just got to get some more viewers on here. So you need to subscribe and hop in the chat. Um, be back tomorrow and try to be back each day this week. Take this